An investigation underway into the leak of pictures that show the moments one of the accused Boston bombers surrendered to police. You can see a bloody Dzhokhar Tsarnaev here on top of that boat in the backyard of Watertown, Massachusetts. Emerging from under the tarp of that boat where he was hiding at the time, and a red laser dot of a sniper's weapon trained on his forehead. That's a far cry from this controversial magazine cover. That's an image that critics say portrays the accused terrorist as a rock star. Massachusetts State Police Officer Sergeant Sean Murphy leaked the photos, which he himself took on the capture scene on the night of April 19th. Sergeant Murphy released a statement. It reads, and it's a long one too, quoting now. As a professional law enforcement officer of 25 years, I believe that the image that was portrayed by Rolling Stone magazine was an insult to any person who has ever worn a uniform of any color or any police organization or military branch, and the family members who have ever lost a loved one serving in the line of duty. The truth is that glamorizing the face of terror is not just insulting to the family members of those killed in the line of duty, it also could be an incentive to those who may be unstable to do something to get their face on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. Reaction now from Boston. Joe Dwinell now from the Boston Herald. And Joe, good morning to you.
Good morning, Bill.
Why did this officer do this?
People are upset. They're beyond upset. They say wounds have been ripped open again by the Rolling Stone. So that it's just a day later, as he said, he just couldn't see that cover anymore. So he said, take a look at this. This is the picture you should be looking at.
What he says, I think, in this letter is that don't remember the image on the magazine. You know, remember the night we captured him, a guy who was out for terror. He continues now, these were real people with real lives, with real families, he writes. And to have this cover dropped into Boston was hurtful to their memories and their families. I know from firsthand conversations that this Rolling Stone cover has kept many of them up again. It's irritated the wounds that will never heal again. There is nothing glamorous in bringing more pain to a grieving family. I think what people need to remember is that Murphy, he goes to the funerals of those who were killed in the line of duty. For him, this is intensely personal, Joe.
Yes, it is. And Sean Collier's brother, Andrew, spoke to us last night at the Herald, and he said he defends the sergeant. He says he's been a great guy. He's helped us through this. He took photos at Sean's funeral, where every police officer in New England showed up for at MIT. I mean, this really did rip open old wounds. Victims' families are telling us they can't sleep again, that Rolling Stone doesn't understand. He's not Jim Morrison. He's an accused killer.
Yeah, and Murphy's the one who meets with the families of the fallen. I mean, he acts as the liaison to ease their pain as they go through life. Because you have to remember, they lost 2 officers during all of this, too. The companies now, I think we have 14 companies. I think that's the list right now that's boycotting the sale of this magazine, and who knows if they continue to refuse to stock the magazine on their shelves. Has this, in essence, backfired when the magazine probably did this in the end as a business decision to draw attention to its magazine?
It's backfired in Boston, I'll tell you that. It's backfired, it's banned, you know, people are not going to pick this up. And I believe, Bill, that it didn't work. And I don't know how the rest of the nation is feeling this, but Boston is still healing. Boston has been hit very hard, and it's not over. I mean, people are now getting their prosthetics. I mean, people who lost limbs are still being fitted. They're having trouble getting fitted. The One Fund has rolled out, and it's helping. But then all of a sudden, you wake up and the Rolling Stone has this slap in the face. So I think the Rolling Stone is going to plummet in the Boston area.
Well, Murphy, does he pay a price for this? He wasn't authorized to put him out.
Right. He's suspended for 1 day. I don't think he'll be fired. That's just my opinion. The U.S. Attorney's Office is not happy. They have a big case in front of them. Yet, I don't think he'll be fired, but he will pay a price. But at least he stood up for what he believed in.
Well, some people may consider him a hero, but he felt the need to counter the message on the magazine. Do you think it's worked for him?
I think it worked. Last night, when this broke, it was like wildfire. It's an amazing photo. You know, could he have put the photo out just to everybody? That might have been a little bit better move. But still, the laser dot on Joe Carr's forehead, him surrendering, some of the other photos, lifting up his shirt to show I'm not wearing a bomb, a vest bomb. That's what I got from that photo. So this was real deal. This is not a social media floppy-haired photo. This is the real deal. This is what went down that day while people were locked inside, and no one knew just how bad this was going to be.
A real deal with blood on his face, too. This is the real Boston bomber, Murphy writes, not someone fluffed and buffed for the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. Joe, thank you. We're going to track the fallout from your city in Boston. Joe Dwinell, thanks.
You're welcome.